Well, I hope that was a relatively graceful fade out, and I hope this is a relatively graceful fade in return. Hello, and good time zone, and what is up, gamers? Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Thursdays. Hope you're having good ones. Here's some art we're gonna work on today. Hello, hello, hello. It's very nice to see y'all. It's very nice to be here. It's, it's okay to be. And today, hello. We're painting some mer people. Namely, I couldn't decide on a composition for this piece, and I can't draw characters in between these two sizes without their proportions starting to look jank, because, skill issue, I guess. But I couldn't decide which one I liked better. I really wanted to play with these sparkly paints, but I was like, is this composition even good? I was really struggling with it. So I was like, I'm just going to do a tiny one because that always wins in my book. So, whatever. Anyways, hi everybody. Welcome in. How are you doing? It's wonderful to see y'all. It's wonderful to be here. Hello. Hi. I've got my paint. I've got some water I can fill up my water cup with. And I'm going to say hi to everybody. Sorry for the somewhat late start. I had issues getting my camera to set itself up correctly. Namely, the app that I use to connect my camera to the streaming software has the choice of connecting via Wi-Fi or via a cable. And I prefer to use the cable because it just makes things run a little bit nicer. and it just decided that it was gonna not recognize that the cable's plugged in, and I had to restart it like 9 times, and it was like connecting via Wi-Fi, and I'm like, no, don't do that. The cable's right there. It's plugged in. Sorry, there are little tiny pieces of 3D print that have been left behind from some 3D prints that God did the other day. Here's some 3D print stuff. What is this, a doily? I don't know. Anyways, it's 3D print is what it is. A lot of 3D print happening in this house at the moment. There's a very large piece of 3D print in the garbage. So I'm assuming that something went a little bit wrong with that. That's a shame, because I'll be honest, this piece looks pretty good to me, but what do I know? Anyways, let me catch up with chat. We're working with some sparkly paints today, and oh my god, literally, there is just 3D print sand all over the work surface. And that texture is going to... The one way in which I am similar to Anakin Skywalker is that I do not like sand. I don't like that texture. It makes my soul want to exit my body. Oh my god. So I'm gonna try and sweep that up as best as I can while I check in with chat. I see we've already got a terrible drawing time from Lino. Also, hi Lino, welcome in. How are you doing? Wonderful to see you. Hello. And hello also to Nia. Welcome in. Lino says, I hear it's Mer's Day. It is indeed Thursmaids, says Theo. Also correct. Also, hello Theo. Wonderful to see you as well. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just try and de-sand the space a little bit. Ugh. Ah! Bad texture. It's like, also, I don't like, anything like baking bread and that kind of thing. I love that dough scrapers have become a thing because I do not want to touch flour. Touching flour is like, it's a necessary evil of baking at times, but just having palms covered. It's the stuff of nightmares. Absolutely hecking horrific. Least favorite. Anyways. Hope everyone's okay. If your maids are thirsty, let them drink, says Neo. Indeed, indeed. Oh my goodness gracious. You don't like gloves, says Neo. Okay, here's the thing. I hate the textures of certain things involved with, like, washing dishes and stuff. Absolutely also gives me the ick. But you know what else gives me the ick? Having gloves on my hands gives me the ick. How did no one figure out certain things about my neurotype when I was younger? I don't know. Anyways. Okay, Gumby, hello, welcome in as well. Lovely to see you. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? It is very good to see y'all. Okay, I have some chat to catch up on. Anyways. Linus says, fight me. No! Don't fight. Don't actually fight me. I'm too wobbly and sweaty from today's excursion, but still. Oh no. Oh no. Please rest instead. Please no fights in chat. Please no fights in chat. Like, I trained in conflict resolution, but that was also in the 3rd grade, so... That was far too much of an emotional burden for an 8-year-old, but go off, I guess. 3rd grade teacher who is earnestly teaching children to express their emotions in a sincere and productive way, I guess. Anyways. Right. Trip hazard. PI. I love it. I love it. I don't... Okay, let me get the terrible drawing time canvas. Also, guess what? My brain is porridge. My pencil and eraser are still in my purse from my day out yesterday.
Attention!
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
Choppers.
Hello, Snail. Hello, how are you doing, Raiders? Welcome on in. Hello, hello, hello. It is very wonderful to see you. Welcome on in. What were you up to, Snail? What were you up to? How was your stream? I'd love to hear all about it. Indigo, hello, hello. Splash, hello, and Mira. And Artrex, hello, friends. Welcome in. How are you doing? Let me get a little shout out for Snail in the chat. If I can spell things correctly, that would be super awesome. Hopefully that works. Is my chatbot's not running? Oh, beans. I keep trying to. I always when I try to get my chatbot to run, I always type chat boy by mistake, which is I don't know who chat boy is, but let me do one of these instead. Hello, Casa, as well. Welcome on in. How is everyone? How was just your year co-working? Ooh, I hope you had a wonderful time. I'd love to hear all about it. Kirsty's Snaily Raid, I'm here. Yay. Oh, Beans, I shouted out a different snail. Oh no, will it let me do another shout out? And I have to wait a minute and a half before I do another shout. Hold up. Let me try. No, that's not a user that exists. Oh god, I'm so tired. I promise stream is usually a little bit less chaotic than this to anyone who's just come in. Hi, I'm trying my best. Please just click on Snail's name and give them a rate, okay? Give them a follow. Do all of the things. Snail is cool. Bless you, Sammy. You're doing great, says Snail. I'm not feeling it, but thank you. Anyways, yes, if you're not following Snail, go do that. You can do that right there. Anyways, Kirsty says, Sammy, how was your trip? It was magnificent. It rained a lot of the time, but not all of the time, but enough of the time that it made us not do a lot of stuff. But the things that we did do were really great. The buildings were super pretty. The food was amazing. I met the coolest mermaid. And so we're painting mermaids because I'm feeling very mermazing at the moment because mermaid things happened. And also, I love Copenhagen. I am baffled by the Danish language because none of the words are pronounced the way that I think that they should be pronounced based on my knowledge of European languages. But I love that. It's very fun and I would love to learn more of it and go back and know how to say things other than hi and tak. And, oh, what else can I definitely say in Danish? That was the best jump scare. Thank you very much for the fight music, and indeed... Shaw. Thank you. It's Hort. It's our best friend. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you very much indeed. Shaw! Snail, thank you for the Shaw. Thank you. Hort. I just, are you a true doer of too many Hollow Knight arts? If you
New limited edition blue raspberry fight milk makes you almost as cool as Hornet.
Thank you for the Fight Bill sticker. What was I saying? Oh yeah, are you even a doer of too many Hollow Knight fan arts if you've never just put a little ooh smile on Hornet? I don't know. But anyways, thank you very much for the stickies, you beautiful people. Thank you, thank you. And for the lovely music as well. And the jump scares, you're all breathtaking. Can I do another shout out for Snail and have it work correctly this time? I don't know. I'm gonna try. Okay, yay, it worked. There is Snail. Please go follow, do all the things. Snail is amazing. I'm very tired. We're painting mermaids today. But I also have to do a terrible drawing. Rex, thank you for the plaps. Thank you for the little kiwi burp. Thank you, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Theo says, as a Norwegian whose written language looks more or less exactly like Danish, I too think none of the words are pronounced like they're supposed to be pronounced. I have done a comparison. So the Danish word for strawberry and the Danish word for Norwegian are spelled exactly the same, and they sound completely different, y'all. They sound completely different. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't attempt to pronounce the Norwegian word for strawberry, but I can tell you that the Danish word for strawberry it's spelled like this, and would you guess based on that, if you didn't speak Danish, that it is pronounced jordbær? Half of the letters are missing. It's a very difficult language to parse out. The Danish word for strawberry, the Danish word for Norwegian, says Neo. I am very tired. I'm going to take a sip of my decaf, which is a mistake because it's decaf, but I made it earlier and it's really tasty. But anyways, yes, the Danish word for strawberry is spelled the same as the Norwegian word for strawberry. Mira, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. The two words they're spelled the same and they sound completely different. I mean, which makes sense because they're two different languages, but in ways that if you have a vague understanding of one, it does not mean that you will know how to read any of the words in the other one. That's my point. Breathe in this economy, says Art Rex. I know, right? My partner's just come home, so I'm gonna say hi. Thank you again for the follow, Mira. I very appreciate it. Enjoy your fight milk and stuff. I'll be back in a sec. Hi, sunshine. You can see the kind of day I'm having. Woo! It's a good one. We just got a raid, and I'm feeling very silly. How are you?
I'm okay. Either way.
Okay, I won't hug you for too long. Have a good one. I need to get my pencil out of my purse because I left my pencil in my purse. Oh, beans. You know what? Okay. Alright, chat. I'm just bringing my entire purse over with me because somewhere in here... Oh, Linus says hi, sunshine.
Hey, you still watching
Sledge says hi. Anywho. Hello, I'm back. We have a terrible drawing canvas. It's brand new. Or it's almost brand new. We have a Pokeroo. And we have the farmer from my current Stardew Valley farm and the NPC that he is married to. They're very happy. And somewhere in here, I have my pencil and eraser. I have one of my teeny tiny watercolor blocks because I was sketching some little guys. I have an ink that I want to do a bunch of little guys for my original art tier over on the Patreon. And it's called Werewolf Blood, so I want to sketch a bunch of werewolves for it. I think that would be cute and fun. I don't know if anyone else would enjoy that as much as I do, but I enjoy it. Anyways. Where's my pencil? Okay, well I have my big pencil. I can't find my Tiddle pencil though, but it has a tendency to get buried. Oh.
It's the replacement mask.
Huh, okay. Oh, my moderator / spouse got a mysterious parcel delivered today. And, it turns out it is a thing that he gets annually and had forgotten was from a year ago. How are the little guys doing, says Theo? These ones? They're doing alright. They're having a good time. Oh, you mean the little guys like paintings? Good, fun. As I said, I've got an ink called Werewolf Blood, so I'm gonna do some little werewolves, which I am very excited about. I think one of them, one little guy is gonna have fleas. Don't worry, he'll get better. But I just thought that would be cute as well. Little snaggly teeth, little, what's it? Toe beans, all that good stuff. Possibly various phases of werewolf transformation. I care about the doings of all the little guys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah, Indig_OO just subscribed.
Indigo, thank you very, very much indeed for the sub. I very much appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your emotes and stuff. Hell yeah. Toe Beans says Mira, oh my gosh, those toe beans are so cute. I love them. I love them with my whole heart. I want to give them a little kiss. But, you know, respectfully from a distance. Okay. Now, I should probably explain for anyone who's just arrived, who is here for the first time, who has not experienced the abject horror of terrible drawing time and what exactly is going on here. This is Pokeroo, by the way. It's a very niche reference from the part of Canada that I'm from. Terrible drawing time is this thing that we do here, whereby for 5,000 channel points, I've got 5 minutes or less to draw a character or concept of your choosing from memory or sight unseen on a terrible drawing canvas, which I will inevitably forget to share on the Discord and the dedicated channel for that when it is done. Nevertheless, here's a link to the Discord if you want to join. And yes, I have received a terrible drawing time for... Let me pop back up again. Where is the prompt? Because it's been about 20 minutes since the prompt, because thank you again for the raid, Snail. I very much appreciate it. Right. Okay, so we... I love this so much. Trip Hazard, PI. Who sounds like an absolute friend. Okay, so I've got 5 minutes to draw Trip Hazard, PI, which, how do I shall try try my best. I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes because I can't. Oh no, you can. Oh no, you can. Oh, that's an unflattering angle. Oh well. Hi everybody. Hello. I do exist. 5 minutes on the clock starting and now. Okay. What the heck does a private investigator look like? They wear, like... Let me see. Okay, so this... How am I gonna do this? Okay, first of all... I'm gonna give them some eyes, because that feels like an important feature. And an oh no looking kind of face. Because that also feels like an important feature. And here they are. Okay. And just the very best hairstyle I can think of. Fedora, trench coat, shabby briefcase. Yes, perfect, exactly. I love it. And it's Trip Hazard happening, says Theo. It's trying. Okay, how do you draw a trench coat? No, let's get an implication that there's a shirt on under that trench coat because they are a private investigator, not a pervert. I mean, what they get up to in their own time is none of my beeswax, frankly, and I will not be drawing it. I am only interested in them being on the clock. Okie dokie. go. Some disproportionate little arms happening here. And their little, oh, that coat is way too big. That's, oh no, their coat doesn't fit. Let's maybe make that a little bit more fitted. Get a little belt on it, because sometimes these coats have little belts. And oh no. Oh no, they're like falling over, but super awkward. Oh my god, this is so, it looks like he's wearing like a bathrobe. How do I fix this? There we go, and it's got like pockets and stuff. It's got a little like pocket thingy on it. I don't know if do they have that? I don't think they do. Or bathrobe slipping. Who knows? Oh no, his briefcase is literally in the middle of falling over. It has fallen open. And all of his important papers and information are just flying out of it. This one says top secret stuff. Oh no. He's making such a mess. This is going to take forever to clean up. Documents galore. This one's got like a whole load of pages. So let's just sort of add in a few more of them to give the idea of it being quite a thick, stapled together document. And then just a little impression that this thing actually has 3 dimensions, which makes it look slightly worse, but never mind. At least there's a little pocket that has his afternoon snack is still safely tucked in the pocket, and it is a muesli bar. It is a muesli bar that I bought in Denmark called Corny, which you can't find here. And it comes in a flavor that has chocolate, biscuit, and marshmallow. And when I tell you that that is the best treat in the universe, what about business cards? Are they safe? Oh my god, you're right. I've got... No, the timer's going off! Oh no, he's lost his business cards. They're flying everywhere. Oh, heck. Okay, shut up, timer. I gotta finish drawing in the business cards that he's lost. Oh no, okay, there's trip hazard. Everything's going wrong. I realize that his name implies that he is the trip hazard, but you know, whatever. Oh, no. What about his business? Oh no. I'm sure he will be just fine. He can pick up the things and they'll be alright. But anyways, we've got Corny in Germany, says Indigo. Nice. We don't have them here. I love the name of it. I think the name of it is fantastic. But yeah, anyways, I got a big multi-pack of salted caramel Corny bars because I'm like, it sounds so good. And I'm rationing them out because, I don't know, we have muesli bars here, but they're all, like, overpriced and, made by influencers. Or they're, like, the energy bars that are full of sweeteners and taste like absolute poo-poo garbage, so... Anyways, it's perfect. Thank you, says Lido. Lido, I hope you're happy. Thank you. Lots of corn in Ohio, says Rex. I mean, I do also like corn. I don't eat corn very often because, my moderator / spouse is not a fan of, like, sweet corn. So very, very rarely, like, once a year I'll get myself a cob of corn and I'll have it for my lunch and it'll be the loveliest thing. But I don't really, like, cook with it or anything. Anyways, it's time for the peeling of the masking fluid. Not a fan of sweet corn, says Mira. I know, but you know what? I still love them. In matters of taste, there can be no dispute, as some ancient Roman guy said. I can't remember who it was, if we know. Anyways, gasp, says Mara. I'm sorry. Theo says, I want the Yuna X Tidus underwater makeout scene from Final Fantasy X, but with Ed and Steed from the Pirate program. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy X, except that it's a Final Fantasy game. But, I mean, like, I could make these mermaids kiss. if that's your bag. And, we will be using the sparkly duochrome watercolors. Get a load of this absolute beauty. These are so much fun. They are not going to look exactly like this on the canvas, because one of the cool things about these paints is the way that they look painted over other darker colors. And that's the bit of their appeal that I want to play with today. Like, certain colors that it really brings out this, like, sort of shimmery, violety, lilac-y, lavendery purpleness, especially sort of on this end of things with this color. And then this oceanic color, which is sort of it's like a really translucent teal sort of color with gold sparkles. And I really love the way that it looks over, I love the way it looks over this blue, actually. But also over, like, the yellow and orange and this, like, darker turquoise green. It's gonna be so much fun. I will send you the tasteful makeout scene. It's basically what you're drawing. Oh my god. What? 2 in a row? Oh, F off. Oh, just directly F off. My goodness gracious. Sorry everybody for my French. But it feels justified. Let's drop a little band. And let's drop another little band. Okay. That's better. That's better. Anyways, moving on. I think you'll find the 2 users I just had to ban. That we already have the best viewers here. And I don't need whatever they're trying to sell.
But I'm not watching.
But, oh my god, are you not watching the stream, babe?
You don't have the best viewer, obviously.
Please watch my streams, I love you. You don't have to. We're married and you're here, but still. Anyways. Sorry, that was my partner. The moderator slash spouse Twitch user slash Callie was apparently not watching the stream at that point. To be fair, he was in the room with me, so it's fine. As a French speaker, that was not French, this indigo. Oh, I am so very sorry. Anyways. Oh, Neo says, it's called Oceanic, so I am already legally obligated to love it. I hope that you do. I hope that you do. Very much, I hope you do. Okay. It is time for the continued, very careful, very slow, very don't accidentally tear the paper or smudge the paint, which it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be smudgeable because it was on Monday that we painted it. But I've had situations where a paint has surprised me by just like smudging onto the parts of the canvas that don't want to be painted when I was peeling the masking fluid around it, which I was very surprised by.
Oh hell yeah, Sledge Callie just subscribed.
Oh,
42 months? That's almost an answer.
Oh, Sledge, my dearest darling, thank you so much for this sub. Thank you for 42. I've been doing this for 42 months? Thank you for being subbed for that whole time. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you. You absolute sweetest pea. Very much appreciated. Every little mote of support makes my heart happy. Anyways. Theo says Oceanic was one of my favorite Body Shop perfumes when I was 14. Ooh, I remember the Body Shop. I remember when the Body Shop was like the place to get stuff when I was a youngin'. Nearly 4 years since the dark times. That implies that we've moved out of the dark times, and some days I'm honestly not sure. But I intend to create light out of it. But like the safe kind that you don't need sunscreen for. So not like UV light. Because I don't want to cause any like photo damage to anyone. BOS, how many roads must a man walk down? It depends. To be honest, I would say, given our proximity to like a bus route, probably about 2 to 3. Not the radiance kind of light, says Kirsty. Exactly. No. I don't aspire to be the radiance. I aspire to beat the radiance, but that's very different. This is a Hollow Knight reference for the uninitiated. By the way, we will be playing Hollow Knight tomorrow morning on our cozy Hollow Knight stream. And I'm very looking forward to doing some attempts at P4, which is really cool because I haven't played any Hollow Knight in a couple... Jeez. Mira, thank you very much for the Shah. Hello, Hornt. Thank you. Oh my goodness gracious. None if he has a bike, says Indigo. Also true. Also very true. There may be some pathways. There may be some pathways where cycles are not permitted and you'll have to walk your bike down. And in Copenhagen, at very busy commuter times of the day, you may not be allowed to bring your bike onto the metro. You also apparently need a special pass in order to be allowed to bring your bike onto the metro. I did not pursue this because I don't have a bike and I was not going to be using one. And I didn't. I just learned this by osmosis, and also because a lot of their announcements are in bilingual. I did learn the name of a lot of public transit stops in the greater Copenhagen area when I was visiting. I visited some of them more than others. I visited a number of metro stations. I think, what was one of my favorites? Oh, which was the one where where everything was very green? Can't remember. I think it was Fresburg. That was a nice one. There's a coffee shop literally right next to the station that's very, very good. Though I will say, the photos on Google reviews and whatnot make it look like a much larger, more spacious space. And it turns out that it is just a tiny little sort of closet that you walk into with a counter and espresso machines and stuff behind. And a couple of tables and benches outside. But it was so worth it. Anyways, games, hello! I'm totally not late to notice I'm with the raid. Welcome in, though. Hello, it's so nice to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Rex says you're doing great, Mesh. I agree. Wholeheartedly. And hello and welcome. As usual, I have 3 beverages and I can't decide which one I want to sip. So I'm going to sip my coffee, and then I'm going to sip my tea, and then I'm going to sip my water to wash it all down. That feels like an appropriate... Is that an appropriate number? That's probably a wholly inappropriate number. That's probably way too many, but here we are. Delightful. My tea today is mojito tea, so it is a green tea with mint and lime. It's very refreshing. I like it lukewarm because the citrus and mint combination reminds me of a tea that my grandmother used to make, and she would always serve things lukewarm because she thought that eating and drinking things too hot was bad for your tummy, and she thought that eating and drinking things too cold was bad for your tummy, so everything was kind of tepid in my grandmother's house. And so that's quite I like a tepid mint tea because of that. It's very pleasant for me. It's very nostalgic taste. delicious. Right on time, Mesh, says Snail. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. How does it go? How does it go from the Lord of the Rings things? A mesh does not arrive early or late, but exactly when they mean to. Did I do it right? I don't know. Anyways, it's nice to see you regardless. Oh, okay, these ones are tiny. And I have mild concern that picking up this masking fluid will get rid of all of the teeny tiny little pencil line details I have in here. And just kind of turn it into a mess, and I'll have to go back to the photo I took of it to post on Twitter to tell Twitter I was streaming to remember where things go and how they do. Also, I'm just a little concerned that this piece in general is going to end up being a little bit kind of messy and grody because of what happened last time on stream. Older viewers may remember last time on stream I had a little bit of an incident with the masking fluid. It is, to tell you the gosh's honest truth, the first and only time it has ever happened to me that I've spilled masking fluid on a painting, and it happened last time, and it was real scary. There we go. Mira says, a mesh is never late. They arrive precisely when they mean to. Exactly. Thank you. But truth be told, I went to the post office to send a package. Oh, nice. So I did a snail mail. Hell yeah. I love it. That's amazing. Wonderful. Tee tee. I do love, I've got some things I need to pop in the post tomorrow, in fact, some orders. But I have a couple of like cool silly stamps that I've been hoarding for a while, so I'm going to give them a silly stamp, but I haven't decided what silly stamp it's going to be yet. You know, because like the post office will do special issues of stamps. Oh, by the way, someone who ordered something, I can't remember who it was, and I don't know if it's someone who's like a regular attender of streams or anything, but someone at some point in the near future, if they haven't received it already, and they hopefully should, because I sent it before I went away to Denmark. Or did I? No, I sent it as soon as I came back from Denmark. That's right. Anyways, they will have a limited edition Dungeons and Dragons stamp of a beholder. So whoever you were who ordered that thing, be on the lookout for a beholder stamp. If you get something with a beholder stamp, that was from me. I thought that was heckin' cool. I feel like I should get that stamp set so I could just send silly Dungeon Dragon things to people. Anyways, ooh. In true snail fashion, probably about chocolate chunks on the way home. Ooh, that sounds nice. That sounds very nice indeed. That was incredibly cool, says Snail. Hell yeah. I do love the like fancy stamp editions when they give you the cool stuff. For instance, I think I'm gonna paint in the some of the details on the big buddies. But I'm gonna do things in kind of a weird way, in as much as I'm gonna do their top halves with watercolor, and then I'm actually gonna use some inks to do the tails in the first instance, just because I found this is a different watercolor set that I use to test out these paints on top of other paints, but I did find in some cases that these kind of tried to lift the paint under them, or like these paints wanted to lift a little bit and kind of blend together as I was trying to get the shimmery stuff on top of the other stuff, which I would rather they didn't do that. So I'm going to use some actual inks to do it instead, and hope that will give a more immovable result to put on top of. Anyways, Sammy stamps do sound fun. This game's hell yeah. I want to get... There's a range of Warhammer stamps that they've had for a little while, and I want to get some Warhammer stamps. Warhammer is my moderator / spouse's thing, but I like it because it's something that they're passionate about, and I find it fun to relate to people I care about based on things that they're passionate about. I have to mute for a second, so I'll be back in a moment. I'll still be here, but I will be back in a moment. Alright, sorry, I don't know if it was audible, but I was getting kind of a snuffy nose, and so I had to blow my nose, and I didn't want to blow my nose with the microphone on, because I thought that might be an unpleasant experience for y'all. Anyways, I should probably have my swatches of these paint colors, because it was this set of paints that I used to do the background of this, so I feel like I should use that for... It wasn't audible, no worries, says Neo. Oh, good, yay. Okay, I feel like I should use these for the parts of this that I'm actually using watercolor for, not inks. So I'm going to grab my swatches real quick, so one second, chat, sorry. Heck! Where did they go? Where did they live? Where are they? That's not them. That's not... No, where did they go? Oh, swear words. Okay, well, they're somewhere in this pile of papers. So let me take a look. It's not these. It's not those. It's not that one. It's not that half-finished painting that I forgot that I hadn't finished. It's this. This is my paints. This is our paints. This is for anyone who isn't familiar with this paint set. I did use it. I tested it out with a little landscape recently. And I basically made sort of like a rainbow, like a sort of the most basic set of rainbowy pigments that I could find, and then blended them all with a set amount of cobalt turquoise to kind of create a more harmonious set of colors. Is it harmonious? I don't know. Did I have fun making it? Yeah, it was great. So, you know. Okay. So I'm gonna try and use these to give us kind of an underwater feel to these little fellas. And hope I can do that. I'm gonna pull in some of this very interesting orange, which is... in its raw form is a very bright orange, but is muted way down. Like, that's the original form of this orange. Muted way down into this sort of brownish color. Which I love. I think that's so much fun. Use that. And then this is a very greenish yellow. I would say it's like, it's close, but not quite the inside of a kiwi. But I think this will work very well here. Oh shoot, sorry guys, one more time. Okay, anyways. I think I mentioned it on stream last time, but, there's a very famous statue of the Little Mermaid, as in like from the story The Little Mermaid, in Copenhagen. I did not visit it while I was there because it's a reasonable distance from like public transit. And it was just continually, like, threatening to absolutely tip it down with rain. And so we made the mutual decision that, like, we don't need to go to there, so we just didn't. And that felt like the right choice, if I'm being perfectly honest. But also we met a different mermaid who was so cool that I don't feel like I was missing out. I would argue an even cooler mermaid, actually. So, and that mermaid was right next to a cafe, which I love for me personally. I had such a nice rhubarb juice there. And I need y'all to understand how much I love rhubarb and therefore how important that is to me that happened. That felt real good. These are the kinds of things that are important to me when I go traveling. Do I have access to good juice? Yes, I'm a happy camper. I don't know. I like what are the sorts of things that you look out for if you're going to traveling to a place, if you're visiting somewhere you've never been before, you're going someplace for the first time, or you're going on a trip of a journey of some significance. What's something that you would consider to be like a significant or interesting thing to bring back with you, like as a souvenir? And why is it stuff like snacks? And to be honest, mostly snacks, and in some cases seemingly very boring snacks. Like for me, I brought back a loaf of bread. I brought back 2 boxes of muesli bars. I brought back I mean, God, did I buy it? Oh, I brought back a thing of knitting wool. And I had the pleasure of listening to, there was a much older, like very elderly lady in the knitting shop, just having like the longest conversation with the lass who was working there, ahead of me in the queue. And I did not understand a word of it, but I just, what I could glean from the conversation was, I love this person. But yeah, is it safe for queer people? I mean, that's a very important question for if I'm traveling as well. That is definitely, high on the list. I was trying to arrive at souvenirs, but also as a do I want to go to there? Yeah, that's a big question. In fact, I think we missed Pride by a single day on our trip last week, and I was like, oh. But I do have a picture of me under the big Pride sign in the city center, so there was at least that. I once brought back a suitcase full of frozen Swedish Findus saffron buns from Gothenburg. Wow. And when I look back upon all of my other travels, yes, mostly snacks, says Theo. Both of these approve. Absolutely. Genuinely, when I'm packing to go somewhere, I'm like, okay, I need to make sure there's enough space in my suitcase to bring back some snacks. Was very distressed to realize that jam counts as a liquid, and so I can't put it in my carry-on because the jars will be too big, and I was not paying the extra like 40 pounds or whatever it is to check a bag on this 3-day trip just to bring back jam. But it meant I didn't get to bring back any jam, which did make me feel sad. So, yeah. But I brought back some muesli bars, some chocolate, a loaf of bread, probably a couple of other bits that I'm forgetting. You know, important stuff. I feel like my shopping was very haphazard and incomplete. Like, I feel like there are other things that I would have liked to bring back, but I was feeling very like, I don't want to spend very much money, and I think probably ended up disappointing myself slightly in the process, because, you know, I would have loved to bring back more interesting things, and just things that we don't have here, like little rye bread sprinkles to put on your yogurt. Delightful. And Neo says, I think I actually love bringing art supplies back from other places. Oh, yeah, otherwise photo. Hell yeah. I'm big on the take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footsteps mindset when traveling. Neo, that's rad as heck. But also totally with you on the art supplies, because the other thing I brought back was a tube of paint. It just reminded me I did bring back a tube of paint. It was, in fact, this shimmery paint, which is called Cactus Flower, and you can buy here in the UK. But there was an art supplies shop I wanted to look in, and I wanted to get something that was specifically from there to remember it by. And the lady in the shop was really nice, and she complimented my skirt, so I love her. Anyways. Theo says, if I'm ever in Denmark again, I'll definitely have a checked bag and I'll bring you some jam. What kind? You don't have to do that. That's okay, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. And I do appreciate some snacks as well. Time to chug some jam, says Rex. I mean, don't tempt me. I do love jam, but I don't think I love it quite that much. Oh no. Game says, no, don't kill him. I like his art and streams. Yes, we do love friend of the channel Jam here. Is a very good stream boy. And a lovely artist and doer of things as well. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Right. I need to paint some human mermaid flesh colors. Oh no. How the heck am I gonna do? Let me have a look at my palette. I'm gonna start with some brown. I'm gonna start with some of this weird brown. And then I think I want to warm it up a smidge. Get a little bit of a blush on this merm. Like this merm at some point has possibly gotten a little touch of sun. That's probably a little too much warm. But I'll go with it. Oh, my spot. No, thank you. I have 3 beverages and they're all about a third finished. My moderator / spouse was asking if I wanted a cup of tea. At least I think that's what he was asking. He was wiggling a mug at me. I don't think he was implying, please make me a cup of tea. Because the answer would be no, I'm busy. There we go. Oh yeah, that works. It's maybe a little bit warm. It's maybe just a smidge warm for this setting. But, I figure this fellow is blonde and lives underwater, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and suggest that he probably is fairly sensitive to the sun. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna blot that a little bit. Anyways. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, awesome. I love when making a color is nice and easy. Oh, I just noticed there's a tiny bit of rogue masking fluid still stuck on there, and I would like that to not be there. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Alright. Anyways. I would love to show you a photo that I took of this mermaid that I met while I was away last week. But the photo is on the phone that is currently filming the stream, which makes it very hard to show. I can see, I wonder if I've still got it saved on here, because I think I sent a picture to my parent. No, I think oh shoot, I deleted it. Okay, never mind. Heck. Okay, never mind. If I remember, I'll try and drop it in the Discord later. Because it is a good mermaid. It's very different from, like, the famous mermaid that they have there. And I love it for that. I really do. So yeah. Anyways. I did get a little mermaid postcard, that I did bring back with me. Which is probably the most souvenir-y thing that I picked up. I like that kind of souvenir because it's cheap. Also, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big requirer of, like, the kind of, you know, sort of souvenirs that you get from, like, airports and stuff. They always feel kind of overpriced and not necessarily super special. How's this for an arm color? Yeah, that's beige. Yay. It's all looking a little bit wiggly wobbly at the moment. But I think it'll shake out okay when there's like, you know, shading and line weight and all of the other good stuff that you reasonably expect from a painting by me at this point, I hope. Speaking of, oh biddle boy, I've been speaking to the people what I get to do printed stuff for me, and I am very, very, very excited for some things that I'm going to have available coming up fairly soon. Hopefully the kinds of things that people think are cool. But if not, that's okay too. I still love you. It's all good. Oh, let's forget to paint in his little ear. His little merperson ear. Very important. There we go. And the rest of his little merperson face. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna not knock this over. Voxel, hello! Welcome to Mermaid Thursday. I mean, we are painting mermaids, so it's pretty on brand, I hope. How are you doing? It's wonderful to see you. Welcome in. Hello. I'm gonna take a sip of my water, because I haven't had any of my water in a bit, and I've never been a huge water enjoyer, but I'm trying to be a person who drinks water a bit more lately, because I know that it's good for you to drink water. But on the other hand, bleh. I mostly like the taste of water when it's very, very cold, but then it hurts my teeth. So I try and like chug cold water because it feels hydrating and refreshing and good, and then my teeth hurt, so yay. I'm fairly sure tea is perfectly fine, says Neo. Okay, that's good to know, because I do also have tea. Thank you. Delicious. I'm waiting for my friend to return so we can play CS. I've been stuck in the lobby for the past 5 minutes. Okay, come on, friend, chop. Voxel wants to play a game. I hope that they turn up soon so that you can play whatever that stands for. I'm trying to think of what that would stand for. What are some things that start with a C? Crime scene? No, it's probably not that. Crowd surfing? Counter-Strike. I see. Okay. Chug. Thanks, games. I'm gonna not do that. I like cold water, says Voxel, but not hurting teeth cold. Yeah, agreed. I don't like when water is like tepid. If it's like the only thing available, okay, but I will feel yucky about it. Neo says especially if you vary with like herb tea and fruit tea and don't exclusively drink thick black tea. I don't drink a ton of black tea. As a matter of fact, certainly not when the weather's warmer. I tend to crave more like green teas and herb teas and that kind of thing, like this little number, which is mint and lime green tea. Though I do enjoy builders from time to time as well. So I contain multitudes and presently contain a lot of tea in my tum-tum. Okay, that was the ice cream van doing me a jump scare, so thank you. Thank you for that, ice cream van. I appreciate it. Okay. Just painting in a tiny little guy. Do. There we go. Okay, is that a bit... Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Oh man, my pencil lines have all gone for a wander. Ice cream van jump scare, says Voxel. I don't know if you heard it, but there was an ice cream van outside, and I have a problem with ice cream vans in as much as they scare me. They jump scare me, but also there was a ice cream vans in my mind are associated with the time that somebody stole my phone, because there was a very creepy ice cream van like sound, like music that would go around my neighborhood, and I never saw the van. And the first time I finally saw the van, literally right after I saw it, somebody swiped my phone out of my hand and bicycled away. And I was in a lot more vulnerable state in my life at that point. I was living alone. I didn't really know very many people, and I didn't have a job. So that was a very traumatic moment. And so ever since then, I don't enjoy spooky, scary ice cream vans frightening me with their music out of nowhere. So yeah, ice cream, says Rex. We have ice cream at home. We do actually. I mean, it's dairy-free vegan ice cream. But I gotta say, like, the vegan ice creams are like, the vegan ice cream game in this country is spot on. The vegan magnums, amazing. I think it's called Swedish glacé that we get. It's raspberry flavor and it's so nice. I gotta be honest, I find it more creamy than a lot of the, like, regular dairy ice creams, personally. Anyways, Nia wants to know more about tea. Best tea in Denmark. Oh, wow, I don't think I can answer that question, because I very deliberately was very strong about not buying myself tea in Denmark. As much as I really, really wanted to. I do have a photo of this, a couple of tea shops that we went past. Oh man, I actually went into a tea shop and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some tea. And, but then I was so intimidated because they had all of these tins on the back wall and I didn't know what I wanted and I didn't know what I was gonna get and I didn't know what anything was, because it was all in Danish. And so I didn't get anything and I felt sad about not getting anything. Why have you failed me, says Neo. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, and I honestly feel very sad about it. It's one of those things where, like, in the moment, I'm like, no, I shouldn't do it, and then afterwards I'm like, why the hell did I not just do it? It would have been, like, under 10 pounds for a baggie of joy that would make many, many cups of probably very delicious tea. But I'm like, oh, I've got lots of tea at home. It's just tea. It'll be the same as the tea that I can get. But what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't? I'm very disappointed in my past self for having such strong resolve against doing things that would bring me joy. But you know what I did do? I did buy a little plush dinosaur. He was about this big. And is a little stegosaurus. And we named him Magnus. He was very cute. Anyways, but I will say, at least based on the number of shops that I went past that existed almost exclusively to sell tea in Copenhagen, that the Danish tea game is pretty strong, I think. Will you tell me something else about tea then, says Neo? Hell yeah. Alright. I'm gonna give you a spicy tea opinion. And my spicy tea opinion is that it sounds like I need to go to Copenhagen, says says Tea Light Trees. Hell yeah. I mean, I had a really fun time there, so I recommend it. Tea Light Trees says, I feel like I've arrived at an appropriate time in the conversation. Hell yeah, and it's lovely to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. Welcome on in. Something else about tea. Okay, I'm gonna have a spicy tea opinion. And when I say spicy tea opinion, I'm not talking about, like, masala chai or anything. I am specifically talking about, I don't like to cold brew. It's become a thing within the last 10 years, I would say, that, like, cold brewing to make iced tea in the summertime. But experience tells me that to get a good potent flavor into your tea brewing it cold, you need to use more. And I find it's just as effective to just make like a normal amount of tea and then just serve it up on ice. And it doesn't take as long, so you don't have to plan ahead and like put a flask of tea into the fridge overnight or anything like that. Um, Neo says making hot tea and then letting it cool down is right there. And I genuinely think that like the makers of tea and stuff, like tea merchants and tea blenders and that kind of thing, is very much in their best interest to be like, you should be cold brewing your tea in the summer. It makes a delightful, refreshing cold beverage. And yes, it does. And I will say one of the things that is a benefit to cold brewing tea is that with something like a green tea, you don't have to worry about like getting the right water temperature or anything, because green tea can go quite bitter if your water temperature is too hot, because it doesn't want to be like right off the boil, because you can scald the leaves and get an unpleasant bitterness. But I find my experience of cold brewing black tea is that oftentimes it can end up quite tannic, more so than if I just make it the regular way. But also it takes more tea leaves to get the same result. Therefore, you have to buy more tea. Therefore, the tea company makes more money. That's why they want you to cold brew. I mean, I think there are also benefits to doing it beyond that, but certainly it is a benefit to the makers of tea if you buy more of it, because you need more to cold brew. But also to that end, if you're using like a green tea or a black tea or something like that, be mindful, I suppose, of the fact that if you're using more tea leaves, it's also going to be extracting more caffeine into it. So you may well end up with a drink that's, you know, as flavorful as a regular tea, but actually has more caffeine. I'm going to need to, more study is needed on this, but I will look into it. It's the same with cold brew coffee. You just got two spicy drink opinions for one, because I feel the same about cold brew coffee. I don't think it's worth it. I actually have worse opinions of cold brew coffee. I'm not a fan of cold brew at all, personally. But yeah, you can just make a hot tea and then just let it cool down. Like make a hot tea with like a lesser concentration of like tea leaves to water, and then just add some ice cubes into it. Boom! You're good. You did it. This coffee is cold of its own accord. That is to say, I made an AeroPress 2 hours ago. And now it's cold. That's the difference. Okie dokie. I have not actually painted a ton this stream, and I do apologize for that. I do try and occasionally get stuff done. Sometimes it just takes a little wee while. Okay. Now I am pulling up the photo that I took of this artwork before stream, because all of the little details have been obliterated by having to remove the masking fluid and the absolute state of my poor little paper, because of reasons. Things are getting a little tiny up in here, so I need a smaller brush for this. There we go. Okay. Does that look good? It's fine. Anyways. I'm a proponent of making hot coffee and then forgetting about it until it's cold, says Indigo. Honestly, like, same. Yeah, it's the same. Game says, that's okay. A real art stream is when the artist is yapping for 80% of the time, has technical issues for 15% of the time, does actual art for 5% of the time. Thank you! I feel very justified in my schedule now. Rex says, so that's why the same tea is bitterer at work than home. At home I use a kettle and I don't let it go to full boil. At work I pop some water in the Keurig and the tea bag in my mug and let it do its thing. That'll do it. You can't set the temperature. I'm assuming it's not variable temperature Keurig. I don't know anything about a Keurig. but I'm gonna guess that you're not able to tell it to use a specific temperature. So I am not surprised that that is going to give you a variable result. Samantha says, I've returned from the evil that is work. How is Sammy doing? Sammy is having a chaotic time, but a pretty good one, I'd say. Turner, thank you very much for the lurk. I very appreciate it. And how are you doing, Samantha? It's wonderful to see you. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Did I lose stream or did stream lose me, says Neo. I'm here! I'm here! Am I here, everyone? Someone please confirm whether or not I'm here. It says I'm offline. Why does it say I'm offline? It says, okay, that's very bizarre. My stream preview window says that it's me, I got lost. My stream preview window actually says that I'm offline, even though I'm clearly not. Because it also says that I've been streaming for an hour and 23 minutes, so what the heck is going on? That's super weird. Oh well, anyways. Never mind. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on, because apparently I am live, and it's confused. Is there some weird voice talking? Can anyone else hear it? Says Voxel. Heck, I hope that's me. I hope that's just me. I hope that's me. That's an echo, because I had to refresh the page. Indigo's getting some groceries, having a lurk. Have a lovely lurk. Thank you, thank you. See, that's what I said. There's the 15% technical difficulties in this game's. Hell yeah. Right, okay. Missed some chat. Voxel said, you want to know something funny? Yes, that friend came back, said he needs a minute, came back again, said he needs to go, and then left. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That was a very short Counter-Strike session for you. Heck, it's complaining about refreshing pages or something. That's me. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, anyways, I am here apparently, so. Existential crisis averted. Hooray. Okay, I'm gonna pick up some of this weird Mars black plus turquoise. Oh damn. Oh damn, I wetted it earlier, so now it's like super thick. Can I water that way down, please? And thank you. With my second finest brush. My teeny tiny little brush. Okay. And once again, I'm going to take a look at what it looked like before it got all ruined, so I can figure out where my little tendrils of lovely. Now, if there's one thing that I don't feel confident about achieving well, it is underwater hair physics. And I don't think I've done a great job here. It's got a little bit blobby, but we'll get some line weight in there and it'll look better when it's done, I promise. Or maybe I shouldn't make that promise because I don't know whether or not I'll be able to keep it. Oh no. Oh heck. Okay, there's a little bead of water on the ferrule there. I would like that to not be present, please. Gonna pop a little suggestion of beard on this guy. Because he's a mermy beardy man. There we go. Delightful. Very cute. Underwater hair physics in general are kind of a pain, says Voxel. I've seen many games that struggle hard with hair physics, so yeah, they are an adventure, to say the least. And yes, I struggle with hair physics at the best of time in static paintings of people on land, so yeah, I feel it. I should have used a bigger brush for this. This brush is way too little. Oh, pretzels. Well, just gonna keep on keeping on. I mean, when's the last time I looked at someone's hair underwater? It's been a little while. I didn't look up any references for this. I just kind of ran on vibes. So I'm just honestly kind of winging it and assuming that their hair is behaving like reasonably well. And that's fine. It's just fine. I don't know. But also sometimes your hair, you know, sort of whips around and does weird things when you're underwater, and I didn't want it to look too, I didn't, because again, it's a static image, I didn't want it to end up looking too sort of goofy because of that kind of thing, so I thought if I can kind of just compromise and have it look like it's got a bit of flow to it, but it's not flying all over the place, that's quite alright with me. If we're being honest here. And I hope that that's alright with the viewer. And if it's not, they can go look at something else. If it's on Instagram, chances are the algorithm won't show it to them anyways. If recent works are any indication, I'm in some kind of Instagram jail, and my work just isn't being shown to people, which is super annoying, but I've kind of made peace with it at this point. It's like, I'm not playing the algorithm game and trying to figure out what's going to be trending or whatever, because I don't have CEO brain, and I just want to do what makes me happy. So I'm going to not worry about it. And maybe try and remember to actually post to Discord when I post new art on socials, so people can see it if they want to. Because I'm really bad at remembering to do that, and I'm also, even though it's my own Discord, I'm shy. Can you believe, to learn? I struggle with physics 2 games. That damn gravity did me dirty when I fell down the stairs the other day. Oh no, I hope you're feeling better. Oh, beans. Those mermaids look suspiciously familiar, says Samantha. I have no idea what you're talking about. But they're very happy to see you, and they say hi. Oh, excuse me. Foxes says, "Oh, gravity, thou art a heartless bitch." I quite agree. Also, exclamation mark language, but that's okay. Neo says, "One day I will hear someone say, 'It's been a while,' and not have the music video of Britney Spears break the ice in my head, but today is not that day. I'm so sorry." Oh no. Rex says, "Hair would probably be a little frizzy. It doesn't get more humid than underwater." Oh my god, that's true. Oh, the frizz. The frizz is real. I know it well. I know it very, very well indeed. I am not an enjoyer of the frizz. I am a haver of the frizz sometimes. As a person with hair that is, just like the rest of me, not particularly straight. It wants to get a little bit silly in the humidity. To which I say, hey, okay, I guess. Anyways, I do love my curls though. I'm very fond of my general hair texture. If to be honest, I think it's cute. Is that weird? I don't know. If it is weird, then tough biscuits. So am I. Anyways, I'm going to finish this beard and then drop a super quick break. And then we can come back and take a look at what colors we want to paint the mermaid's tails. And I think I'm going to have some fun putting some colors together and blending some colors together for that. But I want to kind of try and vaguely map out what colors I want things to be before we actually do it. So I might try and do a mild version of a brainstorm whilst I'm BRBing, which will only be like a minute. But I will do a mild brainstorm whilst I am. Just for the sake of having somewhat of an idea of what we're gonna do. Anyways. Ta-da! Game says, and I quote, "I have hair. It's like the rest of me is not particularly straight." Sammy 2024. That's me. Some mod, please add that quote, says Games. I will request it of my moderator / spouse. Thank you. Neo says, "I just realized that the word snitch has the same mouthfeel as the B word, and many fun sentences are back to my vocabulary. Just makes me disproportionately joyful." Hell yeah, love that for you. It is a very pleasant set of phonemes, certainly. Samantha says, as far as I know, there is no quote command. That is correct, but there is a quotes channel in the Discord. There is indeed. Let me get a link to the Discord again. Plap! There you go. If you want to join the Discord, you can. It's a quiet place, but we have fun there. You can let us know when you're streaming, if you stream. You can share whatever other fun stuff you're working on, if you do artworks, if you do, if you have achieved something in a video game, we've got a games channel. If you bake, you can share your baking with us. If you do cross-stitch, whatever. Or you can just hang out and have fun, talk about tea, do whatever you want. It's within reason and within the rules, obviously. Be nice to each other, but I trust y'all because y'all are good people. Anyways, mouth feels, says Samantha. Yep, anyways, mild version of a brainstorm, says Voxel. So there are tiers of, are there tiers of brainstorm power? I think so. There's like a brain gentle drizzle. There's a brain, there's like a torrential brain. There's, there are definitely different levels of brainstorm, I think. There's brain mizzle. If you've ever experienced mizzle, we get that here in the UK. Game says, wait, so I'm not allowed to commit crimes in the Discord? Boo! I'm sorry. I don't want us to get shut down. So try not to do crimes. Anyways. Voxel says, I love posting Deltarune character drawings and non-Deltarune character drawings. Hell yeah. And we love seeing your... I've never played Deltarune, but I loved your Deltarune character drawings. So there you go. Samantha says, if you are straight, no crimes. If gay, crimes are encouraged. Oh yes, I mean, of course, be gay, do crimes. But, anywho, I'm gonna drop a quick BRB. Please feel free to, if you haven't hydrated or had a stretch or done anything like that recently, now would be a super awesome time to do it. Otherwise, enjoy the BRB music for a minute or two. I will be back very, very shortly. You're not gonna miss anything fun because I won't be here. Anyways, I'll see you in a moment. Have a good one. Back in a minute. What's up, nerds? I'm back. Hi. Did I miss shenanigans? Samantha's a streamer's AFK quick post shenanigans. No. I don't want to miss the shenanigans. Why would you deprive me of shenanigans, Samantha? I thought we were friends. Anyways. Hello. Neo loves the BRB song. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh no. Indigo says, breaking news, Sammy Court shut down because crimes. No! No! Oh, beans. Heck. I mean, you know, I am here for shenanigans, I'm here for hijinks, and I'm very much here for tomfoolery. Anyways, is doing crimes a requirement for being gay, asks Games. Hopefully not. Anyways. Voxel says, weird, Sammy feels like the kind of person who would play a lot of Deltarune. I have never played Deltarune. Sorry. There are a lot of games, to be fair, there are a lot of games that I haven't played. And there are a lot of games that I probably won't play. Not necessarily out of any sense of, like, I don't want to, but more out of a sense of, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel lazy and just keep going back to the same games I already know I enjoy. But also, then there are some games that are so beloved by some people that I know that there's too much pressure and I don't want to. Because I'm like, oh, many of my friends love this, and I'm not sure whether or not I will, so I'm gonna not, because if I don't love it, it's gonna feel awkward for me. You know what I mean? I've definitely experienced that in my life, and it's very weird. I remember one time, now I don't think that any of my friends would be like this, because I'm only friends with people who are good people, but, okay, so what you're saying is you're not going to stream Dragon. I'm not going to stream Dragon Age, Samantha, but that's good, because that means that you can watch my streams and not be spoiled for Dragon Age if you haven't finished it. So, that's actually really good. Good job me. My Dragon Age enjoyer friends will not be spoiled for Dragon Age by me streaming it. But Many, many, many years ago. Okay, so much older viewers may remember a movie called The Crow. They've remade it, or they're making another one or something. I don't know, but I saw a trailer for The Crow movie recently, and I was like, oh damn, I remember when the first The Crow movie came out, like in the 90s. And friends, I didn't see it, but I remember seeing like trailers for it and stuff and thinking, oh heck, this is exactly the kind of dark, edgy situation that I am super into as a dark and edgy young person. And then I didn't watch it. And then a good number of years went by. It was the early 2000s, and someone who loved that movie with their entire heart were like, you have to see The Crow. And I was like, okay, cool. Finally, I get to see this movie that for years I've been thinking in the back of my head, I should probably watch that. I'd probably enjoy it. And then I watched it. And friends, it was mid. It was just mid. Well, I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't particularly like it either. I thought it was just okay. And you know, I didn't know how to tactfully tell my friend this. So because they were just like, oh my god, isn't this the best thing you've ever seen? And I did not know how to muster fake enthusiasm on the same level as them. I didn't want them to think that I loved it more than I did. Because I didn't want to end up in a situation where they're like, here, I got you the original poster of the movie. Here's a t-shirt with the guy from the movie on it. I got you the special edition DVD signed by the director or something. And, I was like, I've got to be honest. And so I was like, it's all right. And they got so mad. They were so mad at me. I think it erupted. I think it turned into a fight. So now my mental association with that movie is someone who got really mad at me for not liking it. So sorry. And to anyone who does like it, hey, I love that for you. That's awesome. Hello, Aoife. Welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. I hope you're having a good Thursday. Anyways, okay, let's see. Did I just express an opinion that's going to get me excommunicated from the stream community art thing here on Twitch? Let's find out. Because Game says, excuse you, it was mid? It was to me. That doesn't mean that it's invalid if you love it. Or indeed, if you hate it, it's fine. That's what we call the social funny, says Voxel. Ah, heck. Also, I'm sorry. Anyways. But yeah, that sounds like a not very healthy person to be around. Well, in fairness, they weren't, and I have not spoken to them in over 20 years, so... There you go. It was very much a one of a bunting of red flags. Anyways, enough about that. But yes, with regard to being gay and doing crimes, Samantha says only gays are allowed crimes. Straights have literally the entire rest of society for themselves already. What movie didn't you like, you monster? The Crow from the 90s. I'm sorry. Anyways, disliking something on the internet? How hideous, says Voxel. I know. Listen, I don't like to dwell on things that I don't enjoy. I would rather dwell on things that I do enjoy. And to be honest, I didn't even, massively dislike it. I just thought it was just okay. I'm just Curve has followed. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. How's it going, Curve? Lovely to see you. Yes, Snail Raid was it? It was indeed, I assume. If that's why you're here, then welcome in and thank you for joining in on the raid. Which I think was about an hour and a half ago, but never mind. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome. Hello. Well done on excluding them out of your life, says Neo. Hell yeah. Sometimes it feels real good to not be friends with someone who sucks. Anyways. it's good to surround yourself with good people who love and support you and are kind. And don't be weird about it if you dislike a movie that they enjoy. Voxel says, it's like the taste of zucchini. It's not good, it's not bad, it just exists. I mean, again, I respectfully think it's delicious, but I also respect the fact that you don't. That's okay. As I think I mentioned earlier on stream, whatever ancient Roman it was who said taste cannot be disputed, I wholeheartedly agree with them. You can't argue someone into preferring skimmed milk over semi-skimmed. You do or you don't, and sometimes tastes change. But whatever. Anyways, everything's fine. Okay. Neo says, when I think back of my life earlier, I'm so happy about the people I'm around now. I'm so glad to hear it. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Okay, I have to make some decisions now about what colors I want to make these mermaids' tails, because I want to be very deliberate about it, because I'm using this oceanic and this violet fantasy for these mermaids' tails, and they affect different underpaint colors differently. And so I think for the violet fantasy, I want to kind of lean towards, like, I like it on top of this purple, and maybe some of these blues I think will look really, really cool. I think that's kind of the territory that I want to move in. If I want it to be a little bit of a darker base, I might throw a little bit of black in. But I think for the most part, this sort of like this range of like blue, purpley kind of color, I think is going to work really well with that shimmer. That's this one. That's Violet Fantasy, not Violent Fantasy, which I have said more than once by mistake. And this one, Oceanic, which is it's this kind of greenish teal-y sort of color, but it's got this gold shimmer, and it's so interesting. And I really like what it does to like the sort of yellow yellowy orangey paints, but I also really love what it does to like this green and blue, and just on its own. So I feel like I kind of want to do like this kind of family with a little bit of just that on white. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. I think their tails should start as a deep green color, fading out to white, and then fading up to a deep blue on the other side, says Samantha. Ooh, pretty. Voxel says gold shimmer effects. That's overpay. Oh, I'm trying my best. Anyways. Aoife says, I watched a video on favorite movies of presidents of the U.S. In the comments, there was a thread about how some future president might name like Shrek 2 or something. Okay. And somebody got so triggered by the mere thought a president might choose a fun, feel-good movie and listed like 25 acceptable movies for presidents to enjoy, all gratuitously violent like Fight Club, American Psycho are just two I remember. Oh, geez. I mean, I've never seen Fight Club, but I know the sort of like meme of if someone's favorite movie is Fight Club, that's probably a red flag. That's not to say that Fight Club isn't a good movie or the book that it's based on isn't good, but in general, people who will list it as their favorite are people who didn't understand the point of it. Anyways, but also, yeah, Voxel says gatekeeping presidential movie choices is crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Several Quentin Tarantino movies. Again, good filmmaker. You know, some good movies, but that's really weird. But also the fact that they are quite violent. Why does the president have to like violent movies? What if the president's favorite movie is like, I don't know, Marley and Me, which I watched on an in-flight once and cried. That's all I remember about it, is that I watched it on an in-flight. It was about a dog and I cried. Maybe don't watch it if you love dogs, because you'll cry. Because I cried. Anyways. Voxel says there's two types of people. Ones who say, oh, shimmering fantasy, oceanic youth, and ones who say grand... Yep. I am somehow both. Eva says, I feel like even if they were, they seem like movies as a president. You probably shouldn't tell. You should probably not tell them those. I mean, also, yeah. Neo says, there is never enough recommendation on the website, and then the link didn't work. Do you want to whisper me the link so I can put it in chat? I have links disabled because we keep getting those best viewers on link messages from spammies, and I want to discourage those. I don't want anyone to accidentally click on one of them by mistake and have it to turn out to be extra malicious. Samantha says, I feel like there are probably more important metrics for your president than their film choices. Just a little bit. Best viewers are right here already, says Samantha. Exactly. I have all the best viewers here at home. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Something, best viewers, presidential film choices. Oh yeah, there was years ago I heard something about how a lot of American voters will evaluate of all of the metrics by which they evaluate whether or not they would vote for someone for president. One of the things that they ranked highly was would they want to have a beer with them. And I'm like, how is that in any way related to whether or not they are a capable, like, head of state? It's not. That's, like, I understand you want them to feel relatable, but, like, nah. Voxel says, buy best viewers on jumpscarelabyrinthgame.com. No! Don't you do it. Neo says, it started out particularly telling people... Oh, okay. Yeah, it started out particularly telling people if dogs/animals got harmed, and now it's an encyclopedia for trigger warnings where you get either a yes/no answer or have an explanation of the thing that happens. It's called Does the Dog Die? I am familiar with Does the Dog Die, and it's very, very, very helpful to have. I think it's wonderful to have that kind of resource because, you know, sometimes I've been blindsided, not so much in movies, but sometimes in, like, books and stuff as well. I've been blindsided by stuff and been like, oh, okay, I'm out. No, this is gonna make me sad. Or this is a really thorny subject for me. I need to go now, you know? So, it's so good to have that resource. And I do recommend it if there are things that you want to maybe be able to skip easily. Voxel says, I definitely like to have a beer with Obama, but that's not a metric. I don't think it should be a metric, but I mean, sure, he seems like a personable man. Rex says, that's a joke in Parks and Rec, but people do indeed vote for people they enjoy hanging with. And I mean, I get that, like, I like this person as a person, but also there are people that I have known that I like as people, and I would not support them running for public office because I know that they would not be good at that job because it is a very specific job that requires a very specific skill set. Okay. I'm giving this a little shaky shake. Now I was trying to decide what to do because I did want to get some little, like, scale textures in here and there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all of the, like, colors and stuff, and then I'm going to do, I'm going to do the little scale textures on top after I've done the shimmer so that they kind of stand out nicely. I think that'll work. I don't know. That might not work. Samantha says, I can handle most things in movies, but horsey death is no. Oh, I wouldn't want to do... No. There was this one movie from, like, the 60s, and a bunch of... something bad happened to a bunch of sheep, and it was probably about 25 years ago that I saw this, and I'm still a little traumatized. Because I love sheepies. And it made me feel sad. Mr. Hangman, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Very, very wonderful to see. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are well. Now Rick says general personality traits make an impact voters. Oh yeah, definitely. Eva says, I mean, if I couldn't decide between two of them, I might go to the sympathy place, but I can't see that happening. Yeah. That's fair. Samantha says, for one thing, it's too unrealistic because horses never die. Exactly. All of the horses are fine. I'd be good at public office as Mr. Hangman. I can be the Pharaoh of Canada. I wish you the very best of luck. I'd help in your pyramid, says Aoife. Hell yeah. Samantha says, vote for me as public office, and I promise to implement policy you agree with. Yay! Universal basic income and a unicorn to be my friend. Thank you. Indigo says, I don't drink alcohol, so I don't think anyone should be president. There you go. Exactly. I don't want to have a beer with anyone because I don't like beer personally. So where does that put me in the American presidential opinion? I mean, it's moot because I'm not an American citizen. I have no stake in American elections. I wish them the best, as I understand that they have one coming up. So good luck. And I hope that y'all pick the good candidate. Anyways. Mr. Hangman says, yes, we must put all the plastic in a garbage compactor and make a pyramid out of the giant bricks. Ooh! Will they be shaped like Legos? Like big giant Lego? That would be rad as heck. I would love that. Foxless says, I think it would be really fun to rename the president to Pharaoh on April 1st for a day, of course. Hell yeah. Samantha says, to be honest, Sammy, both of those are totally policies I would implement. I know this and I love you. Anarchism says, Neo, no beer equals anarchy. Apparently so. What's the abolition of billionaires by any, whichever means necessary? Preferably just like a big tax. And then put that into essential social services for other people with less money. Aoife says, we've got one coming too with scary high right-wing votes predicted. No! No, don't do it, people. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not that I'm not here to tell you what to do. I don't know what's best for your people or your country, but generally, I don't know. That's not really my bag. Anyways, billionaires' taxes get turned into $20 Steam gift cards, says Voxel. Ooh, I wonder what I'd buy with my Steam gift card. Ooh. Okay, so I'm gonna use some flame orange, some brilliant yellow, and then I want like a deeper sort of green-ish as well, I think. Or do I? Yeah, I think I do, because like a deep green, I think will accentuate the gold really well. Like the goldiness of it. But my dark green ink is really fussy, because when we got it, there was a puncture in the lid, so I kind of tried to gaffer tape it up, but it's still not airtight, so it doesn't pipette out very well. Indigo wants to know what genre of games do I like. Well, I mean, I really like Hollow Knight. But also, I don't know, I like lots of games. There are a few things that I keep meaning to put on my wish list. And then forget to put on my wish list. Or things that are on my wish list that are available and that I forget to get. Or things that go on sale and then I, again, forget to. But thank you for the question, Indigo. Geez. Yeah. Yeah. Samantha says, hey, all the right-wingers, you guys guaranteed to win, so you may as well chill at home rather than wait in line all day at the polling station. You know that's a great idea, and that's what they should do. Oh, speaking of, the last time we had an election in my constituency, there was a guy that came to the polls at the same time that my partner and I were there doing our civic duty. And he specifically, I guess he got his little ballot, And then he went back to speak to the people working at like the registration desk where you get your ballot, and he was like, sorry, where's the candidate for the blah 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 party? Because he wanted to vote for the blah 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 party, but there wasn't anyone for the blah 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 party standing in our constituency. For whatever reason, they decided not to put a candidate for that party in our constituency, and he was so annoyed. I'm like, okay, well, you could just vote for the candidate that you would think would best represent you in the government, or you can just not, I guess. Like, parties aren't obligated to put a candidate in every constituency if they don't want to, or if they don't have a suitable candidate for it. Shrug? Anyways. I'm pretty sure that party did really badly, so yay! Oh, it was also a bad party that I would not have supported, so there you go. Anyways, Mr. Hangman says, what do you think would happen if a country got rid of its army, right? But made alliances with all of their neighbors to just protect them since they're now pacifist? I feel like either goes really bad. I have no idea. We need to figure out how Sweden did it, says Rex. Oh, you know what? You know what Sweden does? Sweden does my very, very, very favorite, like, drink cordials. I ordered them online, and I got the raspberry one recently, and it's very good in sparkling water. Yep. Anyways, how do you go to vote and not even know your party isn't fielding a candidate? Because I don't know, frankly, I think this guy was an idiot. But I think also he was looking to, like, I think he was more interested in voting for, like, this party than actually seeing what does this candidate want to do for my constituency. One of the things I also appreciated the last time that I voted in an election here was that they also actually stated where the candidate's address was, because it's really surprising the number of people who are like, I'm standing to represent this constituency. Do they live anywhere near this constituency? No, they live in a completely different city. So it's like, I don't feel like you have that much of a vested interest in my actual community if you don't live anywhere near here. Like, what's the point of that? Why aren't you running in, I don't know, Trang or whatever it is that you live then? Anyways. The lack of information people are willing to live with, there's another, as a folk in a democracy is honestly terrifying, says, Neo. Yeah, I agree. Best viewers, we already have the best viewers at home. Please go away. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Because they suck. There we go. Okay, gone. Anyways, sorry about that. Is that Lego in the top left? Yeah! This is Anana. This is, he holds our paintbrushes, and he is a happy little French-Canadian pineapple, and we love him very much. Mr. Hangman says I'm not a best viewer. I beg to differ. I think you're a wonderful viewer. So, there you go. Anyways. Yes. This is Anana. He is also an emote. He was a very fun portrait to paint. He's also a sticker. And he's a very good little friend of the stream. I'm mediocre at best. Hey, you're amazing. So be nice to yourself. Rex says Mesh made a really cool super filter you can put in the banned terms that gets like all those bots. I'll have to have him send it to you. I would love to see it. That sounds awesome as heck. Yes. We've had 3 of them today, which is they're really active at the moment. Neo says, I also understand why people don't want their private address public if they go into politics. Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. But usually, at least in my experience, it's not like, it's not like Annabelle Pinkerton, number 62, Edgerton Crescent, Plumbleton, but just like, what did I name her? Annabelle Pinkerton, address in Plumbleton.
All stream stickers are free in 3, 2, 1, go!
What the hell just happened? Hello? Thank you for the Anana? It doesn't normally make that sound, but I guess y'all can stick a bunch of stream stickers if you want now. Thank you very much, Princess Ruby, for the anana. What was that? What's happening? I'm so confused. No, we can't. Says Neo. What? Why did it do that? What's a stream sticker? Says Mr. Hangman. It's the little anana that's on screen right now. Normally you have to give biddies to get a stream sticker to appear, but apparently supposedly they're free. I don't know how to trigger that because I am the streamer, so I can't do that. And I don't know whether or not that was true. I'm so confused. Am I in a fever dream, says Voxel? I don't know. Can someone lightly slap me? No. No. Anyways, Indigo says, wait, it's my old Twitch name. What's happening? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. But anyways, thank you so much for the ananas sticker. I really appreciate it. Yeah, oh, pretzels, and we've got the old-timey mid-Atlantic accent for the next 5 minutes as well. Oh, beans. Oh, pretzels, I'm so confused. I'm very confused. I have no idea what's happening anymore. Anywho, I'm just gonna run a little experiment if nobody minds. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, I'm doing something weird in the background to see whether or not it functions, but if you experience any strangeness in the next few moments, I do apologize. Very much I do. But just out of curiosity, can I get the thing to do the thing? Can I get the thing to do... No, I can't because I'm signed into Twitch. Oh, shoot, I'm signed into Twitch on this browser as well. Never mind. Okay, that's not going to work. Anyways, so... Either the stream stickers are free or they're not free, but if you can put stickers on the stream, then please be my guest and do that, and otherwise don't do that, and I'm very confused. Anyways, if anyone's wondering... Coffee explanation with the accent, says Voxel. Oh heck, oh heavens to Betsy, oh shoot. Oh pretzels, I'm very... Okay, well, anyways, Voxel would like to know some more about coffee, so to carry on. Now, to carry on with the conversation that we were having earlier about tea, I've got a spicy opinion about cold brew as well. And that is, I don't think it's as interesting. What I will say about cold brew is that in general it's quite smooth. It's smooth and agreeable, but part of the reason that it's agreeable is that generally the cold brewing process isn't going to bring out the same level of the more interesting characteristics of the coffee as a classic sort of hot brew will do. And so you're missing out on some of those more interesting flavors that you might get in a coffee. For instance, this one has some fruitiness, and you might not get the same level of fruitiness out of cold brew. But additionally, it is also true that you use significantly more coffee to make a cold brew than you do to make a hot brew of the same quantity, and therefore it's a lot. It is much higher in caffeine, which is not necessary. I mean, that might be something that you're looking for, but it might be something that you're simply not aware of. And if you're simply not aware of it, you might end up over-consuming on caffeine, having more than you intend to, and not feeling very good about it. So, there you go. Now you know. A spicy opinion about cold brew. It is better hot. And, you know, and with spices, indeed. Well, I mean, now I will say, I do appreciate the timeless combination of coffee and cardamom. I think is a lovely flavor combination. I do think that can be quite nice. And additionally, you can take cold brew and warm it up if you do prefer that. That you don't actually have to. You don't have to have it on ice. Actually, which I think is quite interesting. I've never tried or heard much about cold brew, but it seems appropriate for the current hellish weather. I mean, it does lend itself to a cold beverage very easily. Basically, the way that cold brew is made is you take a distressingly large amount of ground coffee and you add it to water, and then you just put it in the fridge for like 8 hours or so, and it just slowly is extracted into the water, but because you're applying cold water rather than hot water, you end up in a situation where I think the extraction that you get out of each of those little tiny pebbles of coffee grounds in there is not as much. So you need to use more of it to get the same strength, concentration, extraction of brew. But to that end, it also ends up being very, very high in caffeine. So do be mindful of that if you do decide to make cold brew, and do be mindful of the fact as well that it's more expensive because you use so much more coffee. I wholeheartedly recommend making yourself a nice short coffee and then adding ice cubes to it. I like to when it's quite warm here, I do quite like I do quite like making a nice sort of short, almost but not quite espresso-y situation on the mocha pot, and then just filling it up with ice cubes, which chills it down very nicely. And I think it's it's my favorite way of doing it, anyways. There is also a technique that I think was developed in Japan. There's a technique that was developed in Japan, I believe, of how to make an iced filter coffee by actually just having ice in the receptacle and then pouring doing your pour over like a jug of ice, and just adjusting your ratios accordingly so you get the right extraction and concentration of coffee at the end of it. Still not enough caffeine. Give me cold brew espresso, says Rex. How would you cold brew espresso? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, you can't see my face, but I'm making very confused faces right now because I'm trying to figure out how that would work. Ah! I'm silly. Oh, we've got a terrible drawing time. Sligu! Or as it is called in German, Viscargo. That is adorable. I was just about to paint again, I promise, but we've got a terrible drawing time to do in the meantime, so I'm going to do that first. Thank you, Indigo, for the may as well just get an espresso IV drip. Oh, that sounds unpleasant. But then again, I like drinking coffee because I find it delicious. That's the thing. I don't really drink coffee for the caffeine. I drink it because I find it delicious. The caffeine is a welcome side effect because it turns out that caffeine helps you focus, and I have a deficit of that. So, happy to help out. Voxel says, I know nothing about coffee. Does the name espresso have to do with something the speed of its making, like espresso express? Aha! Okay, bonus coffee fact time before we draw Sligu. And that is, espresso indeed comes from the Italian meaning expressed, but it doesn't mean express as in it makes you gaba go fast. It means express as in the water is expressed through the coffee grounds at pressure, which is what produces a very concentrated, thick coffee beverage at the end of it. So it's not about it's made quickly, it's about the way that it is actually, the water is expressed through the grounds at pressure, that produces what we know of as an espresso. There you go. I hope that makes sense. That's a very simplified response, but there are if for people who are like professionals or are really nerdy about coffee, there are ways of measuring like how many bars of pressure are being produced when you are brewing an espresso with whatever equipment you're using. And there is, I think that the general like standard is 9 bars of pressure being produced when you make an espresso, but like you can, like that varies, and that will come down to like preference and what a machine, what your machine or brewer does best anyways. But yeah, you want some bars of pressure happening. That's the expression of the espresso, is that it is expressed at pressure. There you go. Hopefully that makes sense. Espresso is weird, says Indigo. There's so little coffee. If I like coffee, I'd want more to drink. I mean, in general, I agree. I very rarely will drink just like an espresso in and of itself. The closest I think I get to drinking an espresso in and of itself is a Turkish coffee, only in as much as it's a very short drink, because Turkish coffee is brewed in a very, very different method to espresso. But also, when I get Turkish coffee, it's at a cafe that brings it out with a little square of Turkish Delight, and I love Turkish Delight, so it's like a little treat. But most of the time, I like my espresso-based drinks lengthened with some kind of milk, either a latte or a flat white, depending on where I am and how much of a drink I want, how frequent, whether or not I know I'm gonna need to pee afterwards, and whether or not I'm gonna be able to get to a toilet if I do need to pee. Will depend on what size of drink I want. But yeah, that was a good education, says Neo. Yay! Voxel says, so that's what that weird thing in my kitchen with coffee picture on it does. There you go. Now you know. Turkish coffee, how to use turkey to make a coffee. Oh, heavens to Betsy. It is a type of coffee brewer that comes from the country of Turkey. Rex says, my brother would measure the pH and TDS and stuff when he was a fancy barista. Food chemistry, indeed. And all these things do make a difference. I'm not that fussy. I just weigh up 15 grams of whatever per cup. And I have like a pour over sort of brew method that I prefer. But, never mind. I know it's an unfun dad joke. It's a wonderful dad joke, and I loved it. Thank you. Samantha says, to be honest, Americano being a drink where they just water down an espresso to make more of it is so American capitalism coded. I know, it almost feels like a bit of... It feels kind of like they're dragging Americans by calling the watered down espresso for babies is an Americano, which I find very funny. I suspect it's probably actually because Americans... espresso culture is much newer to America than it is to Italy. Americans historically have been, by and large, filter coffee drinkers. Therefore, you'd have Americans going to Italy, not knowing what to do with these, like, espressos and whatever, and, like, macchiatos and cappuccinos and what have you, and being like, can't you just make me a regular filter coffee? And they'd be like, well, we can pour you an espresso and add hot water to it, I guess. And that became an Americano. If I had to guess, that's what its origin probably is. I drink exclusively instant coffee, says Indigo. Hey, instant coffee? There are some instant coffees out there that slap. I love that for you. Why is there a Markiplier drawing? What? Which one of these is what? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it these two? This is my farmer from Stardew Valley. His name is Jiff, and this is his husband, who is Harvey, the doctor. This was Trip Hazard, private investigator, and this is Pokeroo. But I need to draw Sligo now. The big mustache man. That is Harvey from Stardew Valley. You can see he's got his little, like, I'm medical staff lanyard. Anyways, okay, I need to put 5 minutes on the clock because I've been requested to do Sligo on Harvey as Markiplier now, apparently. Hey, I'm... By all accounts that I'm aware of, which are minimal, Markiplier seems like he's probably a nice man, so that's fine. I hope he's happy being a doctor in a small town and married to a farmer who makes him pickles every day. My brother's favorite to make and drink is a cortado, says Rex. Nice. Very nice. Foxel says if there's one thing Americans hate the most, it's paying more for cereal and coffee, apparently. I'm not a fan of guessing history, says Neo, so I was like, I'm gonna look up the history of an Americano, and, actually... Oh no, but you were correct! Oh my god! Like, I felt like I was very much just, like, guesstimating lore there, and I am very much a fan of trying to find the actual histories of things. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, for more on that. But, you can read it up on Americanologue.com. Amazing. Thank you. Right, okay. I opened my phone to set a timer, and then I completely forgot what I was doing. So let me do that now. 5 minutes on the clock. Starting now. Terrible drawing time. Makes sense. Espresso, small drink. Americans want big drink. Yeah, exactly. They're used to big gulps and stuff. You know? Like the 7-Eleven Slurpees in the massive, like, 64-ounce cups. Which, to be fair, one thing I will say to Americans' credit is they are hydrated as a people, and I support that because hydration's important. I'm going to take a sip of my water. That said, I picked up one of those Stanley water cups that was on trend for a while there. I picked one up because I saw one for sale at like a shopping mall in Copenhagen, and I was like, I just want to see what they're like. And I was like, oh my god, there's nothing in it and it's already so heavy. But I think that's because they're meant to go in your car. Because everyone in America has a car. Anyways, okay, Sligo. So I know that Sligo is some kind of like snaily, sluggy type creature. I added Viscargo because it might help with coming up with something. And indeed, it does remind me of the fact that this character is like a snaily type friend. I will not be able to do them justice, but I will try drawing a Sligo. Okay, so let's give them a little snaily face. I'm pretty sure that they do actually have like an actual face. So I will give them an actual face. Like this. And then, but snails do have those like eye stalks. So I'm wondering if maybe they have like, the eye stalks kind of look like they could have eyes on them, but you're not sure whether their eyes down here are a set of false eyes or whether the eyes up here are a set of false eyes. I think that's fun. They're also quite gooey. So I want to try, I mean, it's right there in the name, Sligo. So I'm wondering if I can kind of give them somewhat more of a, like, goopy, drippy appearance. And then the kind of the body comes down like this. Oh, it's goopy. Oh, it's goopy gloopy. They've got little, I'm gonna give them little hands. But again, they've got some little drips happening. And it's a little bit gross, but like, you ain't mad about it because look at them. They're so stinking cute. Sligo just like trolling people. Then Sligo go, hey, my eyes are up here. And then in the next person, hey, my eyes are down here. Sligo just like trolling people. Samantha, I love it. That's so stinking cute. Goopy, gloopy little friend. There we go. How am I gonna do a goopy snail shell? Oh my goodness, okay. So it's kind of, but it is kind of wiggly. It's kind of wiggly. It's kind of funky, kind of wiggly. Because I think the snail shell is also everything, despite being a snail shell, I think it's still gooey. Everything happening here is gooey. And we love that for them. Oh no, I love this Sligo. I realize this is gonna be like horrendously inaccurate, but what type Pokemon is this Sligo, I wonder? Are they I don't think there's a goop type. But if there was a goop type, they'd be a goop type, I think. Add a silly little tongue, says Voxel. Okay, I can do that. Okay, they've got a blep. I've got a little blip. A dragon type, says Neo. Hell yeah, why not? The slime from Minecraft type. Is there slime, like, in Adventure Time? If there was a slime type, they could be a slime type. I have 7 seconds left, but I don't think there's any improving on this Sliggoo. I think the only thing that I'm going to do is just get some little... Which of these eyes are false? We may never know. I love that. I love that they have... That one of these sets of eyes is potentially false eyes, but they will never tell which ones are the real eyes and which ones are the false eyes. This is Sliggoo. And I hope you're happy. I haven't seen anything so wiggly since my Hollow Knight playstyle, says Voxel. No, that's so cute. Indigo says normal Sliggoo is dragon. The Hisui one is dragon/steel. Ah, interesting. That's not actually a joke. They are actually dragon type. I would not have guessed based on looking at them. The 4 elements: fire, ice, candy, and slime. Oh god, I really need to watch that show, rewatch that show. Oh my god, I haven't seen it in so long. 2 of these eyes are not like the others, says Neo. Yep, and we'll never know which ones they are. Reminds me of the spore creatures I was making at 12 years old, says Voxel. That's cool as heck! Alright, so, let me just pull up a tab here. And look up, find a good representative image of Sliggoo and see how I did. Oh, bless! You know what? I feel like my instincts were actually not super bad on this. Like, they don't particularly look alike, but, also you're gonna have to just quickly look at my Instagram, just so it recognizes which window it is. Also, I finally posted this painting. Do you remember this painting that I did like 5 months ago? I finally posted it to Instagram, so there you have it. Anyways, alright, so for comparison purposes, please show both Sliggoos. I shall try my best. Okay, would you come into focus? There we go. Okay, so, Sliggoo. Ta-da! And also... That's not... Nope, I put the... Hold up. I didn't put the right tab up. Hold up, everybody. Hold up. Wait. I wanted to do a dramatic reveal, and I made a mistake. Let me try that again. Also, that just... No! I was trying to get it to show a picture, and it just went to the PokeWiki page instead. Open image in new tab, please. Thank you. And apparently there is a Hisuian variant that's different. Oh, what? Is that cute? That's kind of cute. Okay, hello. That's kind of cute. Okay, so let's try this again. So, can't be a real streamer without Jank, says Indigo. It's true. Tammy, this is super cute. You did well. Thank you. Eva says, my brother recommended it while I was in the mental institution. It helped me through a lot. Oh, I have a special connection to Adventure Time. I love Adventure Time, and I love that for you. But Eva says, I'd ask for my points back. You asked for a terrible drawing, I believe. Listen, I'm trying my best. This is Sliggoo. This is Sliggoo. I think my instincts were correct in thinking that it was some kind of sluggy, snaily thing and that it was gooey, because that looks like a gooey snail. So... Yay! Sometimes the names of these Pokemon do give you something of an indication of what you want to make them into. And I feel like this was one of those cases. No, they're so cute. Oh, it's just hanging out in their shell. It's so silly. It's so silly. I prefer yours, says Eva. Aw, thank you. Foxel says, I was watching another streamer do speed draws in MS Paint, and I must say this is quite an upgrade in quality. A 5'11" snail versus a 6-foot snail? Why are they so tall? What? I see this little guy, and I think to myself, you know, that's, this is gonna be, like, maybe a foot tall at most? They're 5'11"? That's so tall! Oh my god! That's really weird! Like, for realsies, that's so weird. That's so weird, and I find that really hard to, like, picture. I can't imagine. Oh, snail doodles escapes. Yee. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna. At some point, I've been dithering for too long. At some point, I'm gonna have to go make craft dinner for dinner. But I really want to get some mermaid tail done before I do, because I've been building up to the use of these shiny, shimmery paints, and I kind of want to do it. They're just over 2 foot, says Indigo. That's more normal. Pokemon sizes are often quite irrational, says Samantha. I agree. Fox says this joke about how there's supposedly a big difference between the two heights, which there isn't. Oh, I see. I gotcha. Just over 2 foot makes more sense for something that looks like a Sleekoo. In my brain. But that being said, genuinely, sometimes Pokemon heights are very surprising, I think is a way to put it. Alright, so I'm using this brilliant yellow and flame orange, and then I am going to use a little bit of this dark green as well, because I think the gold will shimmer so beautifully off of it. Hell yeah. I'm going to kind of fade that down into the tail, like the end bit of the tail, I think. Which I hope will look cool. Anyways. But this paint in particular is very, very difficult to pipette out because the pipette's broken, because it is not airtight. There is a tiny little tear in the pipette, which is how it arrived. I don't want a ton of the dark green, just a little sort of flourish towards the tail bit of the sort of fins on the end. And I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna just pre-moisten. Sorry, oh god, sorry about that word. I know some people have an aversion to that word. I don't know if anyone here does, but just in case, I do apologize. Anyways. Okay. So I'm gonna go, I think, oh shoot, I want to go sort of from more of the kind of orangey situation up here. And then kind of fade into the yellow. And then add a little bit of green on the end. I think that'll look real pretty. At least I hope. I hope it'll look real pretty. Okay, now I'm going to start adding in some of this. Oh, this yellow is so bright. I was not expecting this this level of brightness of yellow. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright. That is a very brilliant yellow. That looks real cool, though. I think. I think it looks real cool. I feel like the... so I pre-wetted the paper, and I feel like it's kind of trying to dry out a little bit already, which is... don't you do that. I have no idea if this is weird or if this is reading the way I want it to. It's reading very, it's reading very citrus fruit at the moment. It's giving citrus to me. Ooh, that's a fun blend though. That's a fun blend. Okay. It's doing some cool stuff though. Okay, neat. Well, I kind of need this to dry before I can do the second one. So this is what this is. And that's fun. The God Tamer, is that orange cat color or Fanta? Oh no. The God Tamer Fanta, oh no. Oh no, not Fanta. Oh jeez. I was going for goldfish, not Fanta. But oh well, that's fine. I think it looks cool. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna, I want to kind of get a suggestion of sort of just a couple of little scales. Sort of, the scales sort of tapering off from the tail bit. So I'm adding a couple of scales kind of above where the tail starts proper. And just I don't want there to be scales so high up on the mermaid's chest that they blend in with the mermaid's nip nops, because the mermaid, oh, and the mermaid's chest hair as well, because it's a mermaid with they do somehow, I don't know how this works in practice, but they do have nip nops. Anyways, while this dries, I guess I'm gonna do the teeny tiny version of this, which is gonna be so difficult. How am I gonna do that? I don't know. Fanta, goldfish, cat, whatever. Yeah, it's an orange cat mermaid. Anyways, I think that the tail looks cool. I hope the tail looks cool. I think it looks neat. Anyways. Just letting it hang out to one side, but I keep, like, looking at it and fussing with it and worrying about it because I'm stupid. And I want it to turn out looking good. So, I'm gonna try and do a teeny tiny version of that on this little guy. I've got to bring up my, quite literally watching paint dry, says Voxel. Well, sometimes that's an art stream. But also sometimes paint does interesting things as it dries, so, you know, that's very that's very valid of us. Anywho, okay, so where does the tail starts about here, I would say. So I'm going to once again kind of dampen down the area that we want to be colored in. And then I will start with a little bit of orange up here. And then we'll let that kind of bleed down into some yellows. Oh dang, this is looking cool. And then just a tiny tittle touch of green on the end here. That green is so vibrant. Holy heck. I mean, it is literally called dark green, but I almost wish that it was a little bit lighter. That's okay. It'll look different when it'll look like when it's got the shimmery stuff on it. It'll look like that anyways, which will look cool as heck, I hope. There we go. I would also love for this to not have what looks like a super clean sort of border between the yellow and the green, so it kind of fades. There we go. That's a fun little gradient. The one on the right is Jason Momoa, right? No, it's not Aquaman. I've never seen Aquaman. I'm sure Jason Momoa is a very nice man. He seems friendly. I liked him in Stargate Atlantis. I think that's the main thing I've seen him in. Anyways, good beverage. Is this drying at all? This is very much at least the bottom half of the tail is still quite damp, and I don't think I want to paint this until this is fully dry, otherwise they might bleed into each other, which we do not want. But I can do a test run of what I want to do with that on this teeny tiny little guy. So, for our Violet Fantasy tale, isn't Jason Momoa going to play Minecraft Steve, says Voxel? Oh my god, is there anything they won't make a movie of? That's so funny. For Violet Fantasy, I think I really want to work with sort of like a plummy purple to blue kind of gradient. So, for this mermaid tail, you will need... do I want to use Purple Lake or do I want to use Deep Violet? I think Deep Violet is a vibe. So what I might do is Deep Violet to Prussian Blue hue, and then that's Schwarz, not that one, the one next to it, hopefully. Marine Blue. Okay, so Deep Violet, Prussian Blue, Marine Blue kind of gradient. I think that'll work. Things they won't make a movie of. Superhero film starring a black woman. No, I would love to see that. Deep Violet looks tasty, says Voxel. Oh, you know what? It does. It really does. It looks like they squeezed some nice, like, mulberries or something into an ink. I do have scented inks, incidentally. They are obviously not for human consumption. They are for artworks, but I do have a violet scented ink. I have a lavender scented ink, which is blue. The violet is purple, and I do have a rose scented ink, which is red. I do not use these all three together because it will smell like a nose-blind grandma, if anyone understands what that means. I only drink lead-based paints, though, so no luck, says Voxel. Oh, I was just reading about an old-school recipe for soap that used white lead, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna not make that one. Spoiler alert, my next YouTube video is about soap making. So, you've got that to look forward to if that's what you're into. I will be talking about old school toiletries, I suppose, and cleaning stuff, and things that smell nice. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think, actually. I'm having a fun time writing it so far. Anyways, also anything queer, says Samantha. Yep. Indeed. Sag. Things I would love to see that you ain't gonna get. Apart from, like, oh, you know, like these, you know, it's heavily coded, it's a metaphor, but with enough plausible deniability that, like, I don't know, intolerant bros won't get mad about seeing their favorite superheroes just fully make out for 5 minutes on screen. Or, I don't know, God forbid a woman be sapphic in a way that isn't explicitly for the male gaze. That's G-A-Z-E, not G-A-Y-S. I would hope that the male gaze G-A-Y-S would be supportive. Sammy YouTube mentioned, I can say dick without being judged. This is true. You can. I'm gonna slap an exclamation mark language in chat, but that is purely because I think the language command is funny. But yes, my latest video is about spotted dick pudding, in case anyone's curious. You should go watch it. I'm really proud of it. We just hit 100 views. And that doesn't sound like very much in the grand scheme of, like, the Mr. Beasts of the world, but believe me, for such a tiny, stupid niche of a video, it's a lot. Samantha says, I refuse to believe Bucky and Steve did not have sex at some point in the MCU. Well, I tell you what, Samantha, Avengers Endgame very much does not want you to think that they had sex, but You know, they absolutely had sex. I'm sorry. Those two men were in love. And if the makers of those films didn't want it to be a queer love story, they shouldn't have written it as a queer love story. And yes, I am okay dying on this hill, because I'm right. Anyways. I'm not interested, listen, as a film goer, I'm not interested in just, like, mashing Ken dolls together and making them kiss. I'm interested in, you know, genuine stories, and that genuine story was incredibly queer. But it's not up to me, so never mind. Okay, let me see if I can make a nice, pretty little gradient. I'm gonna start at the beginning with oh damn. Okay, that's intense. But we do want a reasonably good concentration of violet, I think. I think we do. Okay. And then some Prussian blue, which is gorgeous. Hopefully see if we can get a bit of a fade on that. And then a little bit of the marine blue as well. Diatomic Kitten, hello and welcome in. Very lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm just gradienting some mermaids' tails here. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's heckin' pretty. I'm into it. I am into it. I like that these two merm tails have very different vibes, but I think they both work really well as, like, mermaids' tails. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Let me just bring it a little bit closer to the camera so you can see it a little bit better. Get hello to those colors! They're so stinking pretty! I love it! You are lovely, says Diatomic Kitten. No, you are! Hello! Welcome on in. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm gonna see if so, we're working on 2 canvases right now because I could decide whether I wanted it to be big or small. This is still a little bit wet, which I'm very annoyed by, so we're just gonna fan it a little bit. We're just gonna fan it and see if we can get this to dry down a smidge. Because I would like to paint in the other tail. Are you Canadian/American? Which province or state? I am originally from Canada. I'm from a city called Guelph in southern Ontario. I now live in the United Kingdom. I've been here for over 10 years. And I'm currently in Oxfordshire. I'm currently in my studio. But that's my origin story. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle, etc., etc. But yeah. Is that okay? I think we're just about at a point where I think I can safely do the second mermaid tail without the two of them bleeding together, which is great news, because I do kind of really want to finish this today, or if not finish this today, then maybe leave the shimmery bits for next time. Because I also don't want to I don't want to rush things. But I think maybe if we can do this tail and then leave it at that for today, because I need to go make... I am having one of the most, like, stereotypically Canadian meals for my din-dins tonight. I am cooking a box of Kraft dinner that I brought back from the last time I visited my family back in Canada. Because it's one of the things that we always make sure to pick up when we go visit is to get, like, a 4-pack of KD. Because I'm a silly sausage. And, you know, it's a very nostalgic food for me. So I like to, it's not an all the time food, because most of the time I do like to try and cook things from scratch if I can. Not everything from scratch. I'm not I'm not like whoever that person is on social media who's just like, oh, I wanted to make grilled cheese sandwiches for my kids today, so I just started in the morning by making the cheese. It's like, is that really necessary, ma'am? I can see why people find that kind of, I don't want to say infuriating, but just like, okay. Like, there is, I like cooking things from scratch, and then there's like, I don't know, I'm flexing for content. But, oh, speaking of, you know, I feel like this was a testament to the fact that, like, the internet is much more siloed than I think people tend to think of it as. In as much as I saw the Rolling Stone put out this list of the top 25 like internet / social media creators for 2024, and do you know how many of the top 25 I had so much as heard of? It was 4. It was 4. And of those 4, one of them was Mr. Beast, who I know about entirely against my will. One of them was Rhett and Link, who I've seen one video from, and I seem to and it was many years ago, and I seem to remember thinking, that was a pretty good video. And they seem like they're probably nice men. One of them was the lady who's like, my kids want grilled cheese sandwiches, so I'm just gonna bake some sourdough bread and make cheese from scratch. Also, this is freshly made butter from my cow. Like, and, the other one was, I think they're a Twitch streamer, and I don't know what they stream, but I've seen their name before. Diatomic Kitten says, ask your joking right. That's my 4.5-year-old William saying hi. Hello! He says D-O-G, that's how you spell dog, and C-A-T, that's how you spell cat. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you so much, William, for sharing, your wisdom and your knowledge. That is really cool to know. And I love dogs and I love cats, and now I know how to spell them. That's awesome. Good job. That is so cool. I love that kind of sharing of knowledge. I think that's really lovely. Anyways. But yeah, so, like, I consider myself a very online person, and yet these, like, 21 out of 25 of these most, you know, top creators on social media of the year I've never heard of. And it might be in partly because I don't have TikTok. I do not use the Clock app. I'm not familiar with the Clock app. I've never downloaded it or had an account on there, which probably influences some of these things, but not everyone on there was like a TikTok person, so shrug. I think it's also just a case of, you know, we do find ourselves in these different niches on the internet, and you might feel like the things that you know on the internet everybody knows and they're common knowledge and that they're ubiquitous, but actually they're kind of not. You'd be surprised by the number of people who've never heard of, you know, like, YouTubers who have 30 million followers, or you know, like, whatever the new meme is, or the origins of that meme. Like, it's actually surprisingly common that people don't know what these things are. I'm from BC, says Diatomic Kitten. Nice! Very, very cool. Love that for you. I hope that you're having good weather out there. Okay. How do I feel about this? I feel pretty good about this. I think this is a quite nice sort of blue gradienty situation. I feel like it's fairly similar to this one. I feel like I maybe kind of want to re-wet the, like, purple layer and intensify it a smidge. If I can. Just kind of get it to... Because I was noticing there was a bit of a... What wanted to be a very, like, somewhat too obvious divide between sort of the purple section and the blue section. I was like, how can I kind of encourage them to kind of just really become friends and have it kind of blend together? And I think that looks a little bit better. So, happy with that. That is a very handsome mermaid's tail. Yay. So this is, I'd never heard of James Somerton until Harris Bomber Guy nuked his entire career with an expose. Oh man, that was, yep, you know what, honestly, same. That was the first I had heard of James Somerton, and it was a scathing but wholly justified expose, I suppose, of that man's rampant plagiarism of other people's writing. Which, you know what? Fair. Because you should not steal other people's writing. I mean, there's a reason that my videos take so long, and that's because I have to do all of the stuff myself, and that takes me a long time. You know? So yeah, that's fair, but apparently he had, like, you know, I think well into the 6 figures of followers. Never heard of him. So there you go. Anyways, yes, it was unseasonably rainy all last week, but now lovely, says Diatomic Kitten. Well, I'm very glad to hear that it has become lovely. Hell yeah. Love that for you. We've had some interesting weather here in the U of K. I had gray and rain and very humid in Copenhagen last week, but you know, we had such a nice time. It was really lovely. I loved it there. I would absolutely go. I asked my moderator / spouse, Twitch uses such Kalia, would you go back? And he was like, hell yeah. Well, he may not have said hell yeah, because I think I say hell yeah a lot more often than he does, but he was like, yeah, very much would like to go back at some point. So yeah, we had a nice time. Okay, he's got some little scales. Got some little mermaid scales on his little mermaid tummy. Yay, love that for him. Okay. Alright. I don't think that I can do, like, the shimmery paints today, because this mess of purple blue stuff is very wet, and it's gonna take a little while to dry down. And I need to go make dinner. So, we're gonna finish this next week, and also start something else, because there's a lot, to do. Anyways, hope you like these mermaids too. Oh, also I have to do all the line weight and shading on this, and I haven't done that. What the hell was that? Was that the 3D printer? Mm-hmm. Apparently the 3D printer makes a song when it switches on. Has it always done that?
Yeah.
I've never noticed it before, but I guess I'm not normally right here when it switches on. Anyways, we have a 3D printer in the studio, so that's what you just heard. That looks like a mermaid that would wear fine things well, says Samantha. Hell yeah. Maybe should I have made them seashell bras? Am I gonna get in trouble if I paint their little nip nops on stream? Yes, sweetheart, they're gonna have nip nops. Shocked, he says. Well, never mind. I'm gonna find someone for us to raid, because I've got to go make din-dins. And I'm gonna thank y'all for hanging out with me today. I've had such a lovely time painting things and chatting to you all. You are all such lovely people. And it's nice to get to hang out with you. I'm going to send us in a raidy direction of someone that I have not gotten to raid in quite a long time, but who is such a fun person. And if you would like to stick around, I think you would have a fun time hanging out with them. So, let me just quickly make sure that they're not just about to end. Please don't be just about to end. Please be, I went on for a little bit longer, so you've just started. Which I suspect is probably the case. But my Twitch is being extremely slow, so it's taking a while to load. Okay, they've been streaming for 15 minutes. They're not gonna be done yet. So to that end, I'm sending us to Brenda, who's a super fun person, does really, really, really fun, cute, cool stuff, and is just... Twitch is fine with male presenting nipples because they're biased like that. I mean, listen, I'm happy that I get to paint in literally two little pink polka dots on each of their little chesties, but also they should be fine with female presenting nipples as well, because who cares? Like, most of us have nipples, it's fine. That doesn't mean that it's, you know, spicy. That just means it's just a chest. Who cares? What's an appropriate emote? Let's do some kiwi plaps. Let's do some kiwi plaps today. Plap, 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 plap. There we go. I'm popping a generic raid message into the chat if you would like to join us in the raid. Most of us says games, listen, I don't know everyone's chests, nor do I care to. That's personal. If you would like to grab the emotes, you can grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message or append any cool emotes that you do have. I, in the meantime, would like to thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I will be back tomorrow morning to play some Hollow Knight. I've got a crazy day tomorrow, and I very much would like to start with some cozy game time with you, so I will see you tomorrow morning. I will thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I'm so glad I finally actually finished painting the base layer of this piece, and I can't wait to finish it all next time. I hope that you think it's okay. I think the raid just happened. Okay?